PBS Kids opens worlds of possibilities for all children, thanks to PBS stations and viewers like you.
Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. I can go anywhere, friends to know and ways to grow. A reading rainbow. I can be anything. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. Reading rainbow.
Hi, I'm in New York City on one of the most famous streets in the world, Wall Street. It's where the world's biggest companies come to do business. But some of those companies weren't always so big. Many were started by just a few people with a great idea and the desire to work hard to make that idea a success. We call people like that entrepreneurs. Here's a story about 4 young entrepreneurs and their thirst to succeed. It's called Lemonade for Sale.
Lemonade for Sale by Stuart J. Murphy. Illustrated by Tricia Tusa. Read by Andrea McCardle. The members of the Elm Street Kids Club were feeling glum. Our clubhouse is falling down and our piggy bank is empty, Meg said. I know how we can make some money, said Matthew. Let's sell lemonade. Danny said, I bet if we can sell about 30 or 40 cups each day for a week, we'll make enough money to fix our clubhouse. Let's keep track of our sales. Sherry said, I can make a bar graph. I'll list the number of cups up the side like this. I'll show the days of the week along the bottom like this. On Monday, they set up their corner stand. When people walked by, Petey, Meg's pet parrot, squawked, Lemonade for sale! Lemonade for sale! Matthew squeezed the lemons. Meg mixed in some sugar. Danny shook it up with ice and poured it into cups. Sherry kept track of how many cups they sold. Sherry announced, We sold 30 cups today. I'll fill in the bar above Monday up to the 30 on the side. Not bad, said Danny. Not bad, not bad, chattered Petey. On Tuesday, Petey squawked again. Lemonade for sale, lemonade for sale. And more people came by. Matthew squeezed more lemons. Meg mixed in more sugar. Danny shook it up with ice and poured it into more cups. Sherry kept track of how many cups they sold. We sold 40 cups today. I'll fill in the bar above Tuesday up to the number 40. The bars show that our sales are going up. Things are looking good, said Meg. On Wednesday, Petey squawked, Lemonade for sale! So many times that most of the neighborhood stopped by. We sold 56 cups today. I'll fill in Wednesday's bar up to a little more than halfway between 50 and 60. That's great, shouted Matthew. That's great! That's great, bragged Petey. They opened again on Thursday, but something was wrong. No matter how many times Petey squawked, Lemonade for sale, hardly anyone stopped by. Sherry said, We sold only 24 cups today. Thursday's bar is way down low. There goes our clubhouse, said Danny sadly. Petey didn't make a sound. I think I know what's going on, said Matthew. Look! He pointed down the street. There's someone juggling on that corner, and everyone's going over there to watch. Let's check it out, said Meg. Danny asked the juggler, "Who are you?" "I'm Jed," said the juggler. "I just moved here." Sherry had an idea. She whispered something to Jed. On Friday, Sherry arrived with Jed. "Jed's going to juggle right next to our stand," Sherry said. That day, Petey squawked, Jed juggled, and more people came by than ever before. Matthew squeezed loads of lemons. Meg mixed in tons of sugar. Danny shook it up with lots of ice and almost ran out of cups. Sherry could hardly keep track of how many cups they sold. "We sold so many cups today that our sales are over the top. We have enough money to rebuild our clubhouse." "Hooray!" they all shouted. "Jed! Jed! Will you join our club?" "You bet," said Jed. "You bet! You bet!"
So, what do many entrepreneurs do when their sales are over the top and they want their companies to grow even bigger? They come here to Wall Street and New York's financial district, where people like you and me can actually buy pieces of their company. Now, those pieces are called shares of stock, and they are bought and sold in giant marketplaces called stock exchanges. Let's take a look. Is the American Stock Exchange. There are over 700 companies whose shares of stock can be bought and sold here. Now, do you see those moving letters and numbers there? The letters are symbols to identify a company whose stock has just been sold, and the numbers tell how much was paid for each share. All of these symbols represent companies that are pretty large now, but that wasn't always the case. Like that symbol there. That's TWA. It stands for Trans World Airlines. Back in 1931, they were shipping livestock like cows and sheep with just a handful of small planes. But today, TWA's passengers are people. Every day, over 60,000 of them fly some 800 flights to destinations across the country and around the globe. In 1939, classmates William Hewlett and David Packard started a new company out of a garage in their backyard. Today, their company, Hewlett-Packard, makes all kinds of digital devices. They have 86,000 employees working in over 600 offices in 120 different countries. In 1936, Don Prudencio Unanue and Doña Carolina Unanue Casal began importing authentic Spanish products to the United States. This was the beginning of Goya Foods. Today, Goya Foods sells over 1,000 different products in over 30,000 stores in the U.S. And even though the company is very large, it's still family-owned. In the book Lemonade for Sale, the kids started small too. They served cool cups of lemonade to people in their neighborhood. And so did Tom and Tom. They're known as the Juice Guys, and they found out that selling something cool could turn into one hot business. Tom and Tom are Tom First and Tom Scott. Their company is Nantucket Nectars, and they sell millions of bottles of juice each year.
Tommy and I have, I think, a unique partnership in that there's an amazing level of trust.
But Tom and Tom didn't start big. They began selling their juice out of the back of a boat off of Nantucket Island.
You know, we had what was really a floating lemonade stand, essentially. We happened to sell a lot of different things, like coffee and donuts and muffins and that type of thing.
Lobster dinners, do their laundry, pump the doo-doo out of their boats.
Used to go to all the different yachts in Nantucket Harbor and sold them things, and one of the things we sold them was juice.
Originally, this was our factory here. It was a Hamilton Beach 7-speed. We had an 8-speed, but it broke, and we got the 7-speed.
Used to chop, and then we switched over to liquefy when we figured out we were making liquid. You know, we made a peach juice first, which was a thick peach nectar, and that's why we called it Nantucket Nectars. It was a nectar. We were on Nantucket, so we called it Nantucket Nectars. It wasn't that complicated. The first year we were ever in business, we had 3 flavors. And then by 1994, we had 20 different flavors. And now we have over 50 flavors.
The juice is like a toy, right? I want to have a lot of different toys to play with at different times. So when we choose flavors, we want to have sort of the variety that your average person wants.
All right, Chip, what do we have?
Today we have a little raspberry lemonade. I'm really excited about it. I think you'll like it.
Chip Ford is responsible for what is inside of our bottles, how we make our juice. And Tommy and I work closely with Chip to decide what the next great flavor of Nantucket Nectars is going to be. Just raspberry juice?
It's raspberry,
fresh raspberry juice?
And fresh lemon juice. What do you think? It's good, huh?
It's a bomb. I think you hit it right on the head. Perfect, Chip. How long have you been working on this?
Actually about a month.
Really?
Yeah.
Chip mixes up new flavors in a small kitchen on the top floor of the building. He follows a finely tuned recipe. The actual amount of each ingredient is a company secret. Raspberry lemonade starts with lemon juice. Chip must be very precise.
Just to the right amount.
Next, he measures out some sugar that's been liquefied. Purified water goes in next.
Now I'm going to measure out my raspberry juice.
The raspberry juice is sucked up a long measuring tube and then released into the lemon mixture.
Now we're gonna make our final mix here, see what we come up with.
And that's how a flavor is born.
Nice and frothy. Yummy.
In the early days of Nantucket Nectars, before we produced the juice in a factory, we bottled it ourselves by filling the bottles and using this capper to seal the cap on our bottles. So all we do is put the juice right here, bring the capper down, it would seal the cap, and then we place it in the stores.
Today, all the juice is bottled by machine in huge factories or plants. The flavors are mixed in big vats and then heated to remove any germs in a pasteurizing machine. The empty bottles travel to the filler where they are filled with juice. The caps are vacuum sealed onto the bottles. The vacuum is what makes that popping sound when you open the bottle. Finally, the juice is labeled, boxed, wrapped, and shipped. And all of this takes hard work and money.
We really need to look at all the costs of the business to produce a product, what it costs to own a truck, what it costs to have a warehouse, what it costs to, buy the gas.
When you've added all that up and you know what they cost you to do that, then you got to figure out, okay, how much can I charge for this? And you certainly want to charge more for selling it than you did for buying it, and that part in between is how you're going to make your money. So we found that if we make a really good product, people will be willing to pay for that product. One of the hard parts about a growing company is that you're going to grow with the number of people that you have as well. So you need a big team of people all sort of performing their individual tasks. It's like a football team. One guy's going to block, one guy's going to throw, one guy's going to catch.
Like the thickness of the line.
Kim Newman is our art director, and she is responsible for the way everything looks at Nantucket Nectars. Our labels, our posters, our stickers, our offices, and we work with Kim closely to decide how to design the products, because people buy things with their eyes.
Chris and I sort of battled out a lot this week about what exactly it is that we're trying to to say with the illustration.
When I go to buy things myself, I want to know that what the label says is the truth about what's inside. So the label and the bottle has to match the effort that's put into what goes into the bottle.
If we made a bad product and we were trying to say that it was a good product, that's a complicated story to tell. It makes it very hard. So in essence, good marketing and good product work well together because you don't have to lie.
We want to be the best juice company in America, which means three things. The best juice in terms of quality, the widest distribution means that anyone can find it, and the happiest people. If you started, you could do the exact same thing.
Who would have thought that such a big business could come from something as simple as a little juice? How about you? What ideas do you have that you think could make a great business?
If there was traffic, I would make a car that flies.
I'd help kids learn how to read. I would make a robot that would do all my chores and clean my room.
I would invent a great school with no homework.
How about a fish store?
While you're reading, you go like this with the pen. You can't write with the pen, though. It has a scanner instead of a pen. When you scan the word that you don't know, it's going to tell you the definition on the side.
Oh, I know. Like, you call someone, and he's a pizza guy, but he doesn't give you pizza. He gives you the homework, and he fills it out for you.
Hey, you never know. And that's one of the wonderful things about being an entrepreneur and starting your own business. Sometimes, if you're in the right place, at the right time, with the right idea, it all adds up to success. Nancy Loveland is the head of Dress for Success, a not-for-profit company that gives suits or office clothes to women going on job interviews.
Dress for Success is like a store for women, and we don't charge anybody any money. And we only have really great stuff in our store. We only have suits. Like, you can't buy jeans at our store. We don't expect anything back from our clients. We just want to tell them that we believe in them, and we don't really care that they don't have any money.
Glendina Burks had children at home and needed to work. With a job interview only a few days away, she came to Dress for Success for help.
I was at a very low point in my life. I had just recently lost my mom, and I had very low self-esteem, and I really needed to make a change because my health wasn't good, and I really didn't feel, like a positive person in my children's life. But when I came off the elevator and I saw the Dress for Success sign, I got a little nervous because I didn't know how I was going to be received and if the people on the inside was going to be nice to me.
Hi. Glendina Burks. Glendina, it's a pleasure. I'm Sharon. Come on in.
Well, as a client, I was treated and greeted very well, and they made me feel like I was very important. We talked about what size clothes I wore and my colors.
Okay, this is a beautiful Casper suit, and I think blue might work really nicely on you.
Ooh,
Casper
I like
suit.
that too.
Ooh. And then we'll pull some blouses,
okay,
and I'll take you into the fitting room, and then we'll just see what you look good in and you feel comfortable in, okay? Come on over here.
They encouraged me to try on as many outfits as I wanted to until I felt really comfortable, and I did just that. A little bit too long.
Yeah. Glendina, you look great. How do you feel?
I like this.
To the mirror.
When I put it on and buttoned it, and I looked in the mirror, I felt wonderful. It looked fantastic, and I felt like I'm ready to go out there and I'm going to land this job, and that's it. I'm going to be that professional that I've always tried to be.
The idea is that when our clients leave Dress for Success, they look like a woman who maybe works at a bank, but they also feel like a woman who works at a bank. This suit is just one way to make a woman feel good about herself and feel confident as she goes out there and does something kind of scary, interview for a job.
Susan, this is Glendina Burks.
Hi, Glendina. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. Please have a seat.
Thank you.
Glendina, thank you very much for coming in today. It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
What kinds of things would you be looking for?
One of the main things that I'm looking for is the growth potential and to more or less move up and learn more with the company as well as about the company.
Our suits come to us from two places. One is from really great women who clean out their closets and give us their suits. The second place we get suits from is companies who will give us new stuff.
Oh, great, a lot of donations.
Although Dress for Success is a not-for-profit company, it's still a company, like any other company. I guess you can look at the differences between for-profit and not-for-profit as for-profit is about making money, and not-for-profit is about having some other kind of impact on the world. So our goal isn't to make money. Our goal is to do something else, is to help people feel really great as they go for job interviews and land those jobs.
Now I'm constantly smiling. I smile a lot more than what I was doing before. So I feel fantastic, and my children, they are very helpful and supportive, and they're proud of me. They're really proud of me.
With my company, people aren't buying our clothes, and we still have to pay the rent and the salaries and those things. So where do I get money from? Well, I have to convince people to just give me money, to just show me the money, and not expect anything in return, but to feel really good about the fact that the money they've given me has helped somebody land a job that's maybe changed their life.
Sure, we've, thanks to the $20,000 contribution that you made last year, we were able to implement new job retention programs. It's just great knowing.
In the very beginning, I did this by myself in my apartment, and then it just grew and grew, and I needed more people. So now I have a terrific staff, and every week we get together and have staff meetings so that we all know what each other is doing.
That's
Great
a really
idea. Rosetta is really the office mom, and she sort of makes sure that I pay all the bills on time and that I get to my meetings when I'm supposed to, and that everything runs smoothly.
And I was wondering if you guys were interested in using volunteers to help out here in the office.
I came to Dress for Success as a client to be dressed for a job interview. Also, they had a position open for an office manager, and she felt that I was a perfect match. I got it, and I've still got it. And it's just, I don't know how to describe it. I'm just so happy that that I made it.
I can't think of anything right now that would make me more happy than helping women get jobs so that they can move out of shelters, or so that they can get their kids back, or so that they can change their lives in some meaningful way.
One thing's for certain, running your own business isn't easy, but the people who do it sure do love it. So, if you want to raise your interest in business and profit from some sound ideas, then here are 3 books that are well worth investing your time in. But you don't have to take my word for it.
Hello, kids. My name's Nas. I want to tell you about a book that's 1 part silly and 2 parts fun. It's called Lulu's Lemonade. Martin and Maddie are bored. Off to the kitchen they go. They're making lemonade. Maddie's little sister Lulu joins in the fun. First, they mix up ordinary lemonade. They decide to add things and get creative. There goes a tablespoon of vanilla. They even get some mint leaves from the garden. It's perfect. It's so good they enter in a kids' cooking contest. The winning recipe is at the end of the book, so start your own lemonade stand and have fun reading Lulu's Lemonade.
Hi, I'm Brett, and I want to talk to you about something very important. The subject is money, and this book tells you all about it. It's called the Kids' Money Book. Money is part of our everyday life. Coins are made of silver, gold, and other metals. Every country has their own currency. Money is managed with a budget. Here's a sample of one. Of course, money is for spending, too. Spend it, save it, share it, invest it, There are lots of things you can do with money. Learn all about them in this book, The Kids' Money Book.
Hi, I'm Lee. Here's a book with a title that tells it all. It's called How the Second Grade Got $8,205.50 to Visit the Statue of Liberty. In this story, the second grade needs money. First, they collect all kinds of paper to sell. They get paid $30. After wagon rentals and other expenses, they profit $13. They try a lemonade stand, but it doesn't do so well. Their candy sale profit was $7.50. Once the kids start a car wash, everything goes crazy. If you want to start a business, you need to know about profits and expenses. Well, it's all here in this book. Check it out.
The hundreds of companies whose stock is bought and sold here at the American Stock Exchange all began with someone's good idea. And someday, that someone can be you. You can be the one whose idea and hard work can lead to incredible success. I'll see you next time.
Are you coming?
Today's Reading Rainbow books are Lemonade for Sale by Stuart J. Murphy, illustrations by Tricia Tuza, published by HarperCollins Publishers. Lulu's Lemonade by Barbara DeRubertis, illustrated by Paige Billen Fry, published by the Cane Press. Neil S. Godfrey's Ultimate Kids Money Book by Neil S. Godfrey, published by permission of Simon & Schuster Books for Young Readers, Simon & Schuster Children's Publishing. How the Second Grade Got $8,205.50 to Visit the Statue of Liberty by Nathan Zimmelman, illustrated by Bill Slavin, published by Albert Whitman and Company.